My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the TV show The Leftovers. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I guess people really love this show. Like, many say it's one of the most underrated shows ever made, and people even go as far to say it's one of the best TV shows ever. Me, on the other hand, think it's one of the most overrated shows ever made, and I would go as far to say it's one of the worst TV shows ever. Like, I fucking despised it, and it's one of those shows, well, like, it's all subjective. I just can't comprehend how anybody could possibly like this shit. Like, it's truly baffling to me. So let's begin by talking about the cast and characters, and Justin Theroux does a very good job. The issue is he is given such shit material to work with. Like, in season 1, they established the character incredibly well. He is a father, and one of his kids ran away. The other kid he is struggling with. His wife joined a cult and wants to leave him. And on top of all that, he is the chief of police. This town is counting on him. But they took all that interesting foundation and just shat on it. Because in the later seasons, it focuses on these blackouts, and he starts imagining and talking to Patty, and he dies, but then he goes to a hotel, and he comes back, and it turns out he can't die. All of this was complete shit. And they just butchered this character. Well, I really liked him, and I was rooting for him at first, but they just ruined him. Amy Brenneman does a good job, but Loie is one of the worst written characters ever because she is a mother, her husband was cheating on her, she lost one kid after he ran away, and she joins a cult. She then leaves the cult. She then tries to help people get out of the cult. She then does nothing. And then she scams people in season 3 for some reason. Like, they try to pretend she is growing as a character. It just felt completely inauthentic, and every single character beat completely fell flat for me. Christopher Eccleston, like, this show is about 2% of the world's population that just vanishes. So I thought that a priest could be a great addition to this list of characters. And he really does nothing. Just a character who is in lots of this show, but he doesn't stand out. Carrie Coon, very good actress, very good. But, like, in season 1, she is a grieving wife and mother, and she is a main character, but she just kind of does nothing for the rest of the show. She's really fantastic in the final episode, but they didn't really know what to do with her, and the entire relationship between Noah and Kevin just felt off. Like, it's trying to be this toxic relationship, but it didn't really feel toxic to me. It just felt like these characters were in terrible circumstances, and just everything here felt so off. Except in the last episode. Margaret Qualley, who by the way is one of my favorite actresses working nowadays. Loved her in The Substance, loved her in Maid, loved her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and she's actually really good here. I like how she is this troubled kid who's just struggling and wants to be seen and heard, and I thought in season 1 she was well written. It's a shame they give her nothing to do in season 2, and she's barely in season 3. So, another character that starts off with lots of potential, and they just butchered. Chris Zykai, terrible performance, and this character, Tom, right? Yeah, he sucks. He's completely forgettable and very bland. Liv Tyler, bland, and she dies suddenly. Ann Dowd, good performance, and I like her kinda in season 1, but she definitely overstays her welcome. Kevin Carroll, I thought was bland, except for the final 10 minutes of season 2. Regina King, blah performance, she's not even in season 3. Jovan Edipo, I like the actor. Loved him in Babylon and Overlord. He's given nothing to do here. Scott Glenn, I thought he was so good in season 1. I really liked the scenes with him and Jill, but what they do with this character in season 3 just sucked. Emily Mead played Jill's friend who lived with her and Kevin in season 1. I liked this character until she's just gone and never mentioned again. Amanda Warren I liked until she's never mentioned again. Michael Gaston I thought did a good job. He gets one more episode in season 3, but I didn't really miss him too much. But I don't know, just season 1, lots of potential, lots of good ideas, and then the show just shits the bed completely. And look, I know season 1 is about grief and loss, and second season seems to be more about miracles and healing, and season 3 seems to be about moving on and fixing relationships. So I get what they're going for thematically, but the story just isn't cohesive at all. Like season 1, it's the fallout of these people just disappearing. And that is a great foundation to explore religion and faith and grief and loss and the human condition. And I saw potential, but they just did nothing with it. And we get this stupid cult, and I swear to you, they think this cult is so fascinating, but it isn't. It's just the most bland writing imaginable. Season 2 I knew was going to be off from the very start, but the plot here is this one girl vanishes, so did people disappear again? What happened? And Kevin starts seeing Patty, and season 2 just felt like a giant mess. And season 3 is like Kevin is seen as this messiah figure of sorts, and people think an apocalypse will come. And yeah, this season sucked as well. And if you go from season 1 to 2 to 3, there's just no cohesion. My favorite show, one of my favorite things ever, period, is Arcane. And season 1 is a political story, and season 2 is heavy on the sci-fi. But the transition from beginning of season 1 to the end of season 2 is handled perfectly, and it just eases you into it ever so perfectly, while this show just feels like two completely different shows. Season 1 and then seasons 2 and 3. And I despised seasons 2 and 3, and it just doesn't go together. Um, it gets more and more absurd as it goes along. I thought there was some good emotion in season 1. Well, Kevin is getting a divorce and he tells Jill, and well, these people are just dealing with the reality of things. But there was no emotion in season 2 and in most of season 3. The emotion is just lacking. And it feels so made up on the spot. Well, you watch the Star Wars movies and The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker feel like there wasn't a cohesive plan. That's what this show feels like. It feels so made up on the spot. The pacing is absolutely atrocious. Like, did we really need 30 minutes of them buying a house? Like, are you fucking kidding me? There was no appreciation for the viewer's time, and, like, honestly, this entire show could have been probably 15 hours shorter. Like, no joke. There is not that much substance here. So it's a real drag to watch. It's not as smart or as deep as it thinks it is. And there's always these standalone episodes where it focuses on just one or two characters. And at first I was like, okay, let's see what they do with this. Like in season 1, Noah goes to New York, the priest goes to gamble, and just now I look back and I'm just like, oh, that was a waste. Like, even on the one season I kinda didn't mind, it gets worse in retrospect. So yeah, I fucking hated this show. Good music by Max Rector. The actors do good, and I saw potential, but it completely wasted it. I thought this show was just a frustrating mess. It's nowhere near as smart or as profound or as deep or as emotional as it thinks it is. It just is a giant fucking gong show, and I really despised it. And on top of that, it is so very boring. Might have ended on a strong note, but I'm going very low. So I'm giving The Leftovers a 0.5 out of 10. Garbage, garbage, garbage show. But have you seen The Leftovers? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.